on her, and she had every right to do so. There was nothing going on that day. 2 months later, all of a sudden, that day was a problem. Now, I'm not blaming you for that.
Does your lawyer know that you're calling me on the phone?
No.
Has your lawyer advised you that you shouldn't be calling either Allison or myself on the phone? If your lawyer needs to contact Allison to get any kind of information, your lawyer should be contacting Allison directly. Not you, not me. She should be contacting Allison. Do you understand that?
Yes. Can I, are you saying now, other than you're busy and I'm busy, that between you and
I'm extremely busy. I don't have time for bullshit.
I understand. To be perfectly honest, I mean, like I said, I'm involved in so many, they're heavy, positive things, but projects and stuff like that, and this is, it's almost like, well, nothing was going right, now everything's going right, so why shouldn't my karma be to deal with this one headache? And I do consider it serious. Nobody is bringing me in front of the magistrate on a lie. In other words, if you can do it...
No, if you believe it's a lie, man, it's too late. You're going in front of an arbitrator. If it's a lie and karma is in your side, then you will totally stand fine, and she will have no reason for anything, and you'll be totally fine, dude.
Oh, and you do realize I'm taking charges against her for that day on 20th Street and what happened thereafter. It doesn't...
Okay, so go for it.
All right, I just want you to know, because you are pretty cognizant of the law and stuff, that those are more serious charges than my emailing her and stuff. She threatened me, and then she sought to...
Did you file a complaint?
What's that?
Did you file a complaint?
I did, and here's the situation.
Did you get the copy of it? Did you get the DC number for the complaint where 2 men had threatened you in Rittenhouse Square? Where is it?
They have it in the office, and here's where that is.
So you actually filled one out. Oh, well, then you shouldn't have to worry about it, then.
I guess all I'm saying is that if you feel I stabbed you in the back...
Where? How? With that shit with mailing a letter or calling her boss?
Yeah.
You didn't stab me in the back. You screwed yourself.
All right, it doesn't matter. Try to realize that regardless, it's not... and I don't want to use the word not fair. In the last conversation you and I had, there were certain things you said, which I'm not going to, hold you to verbatim, but you're reneging on those things.
Life sucks, dude.
Yeah, all right. Hey, I'm a big boy too, John, and I've been a big boy, unfortunately, 20...
Yeah, I know. You could take a gun out of my hand and pistol whip me with it, or somebody else in the park,
No, believe me, whatever you've got those kinds of skills at your age, use them, because that stuff does go downhill as you get older. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that whatever you do, educate yourself. I simply had 22 more years to do it. That's all I'm saying. And the thing is that you did not make good your commitment.
Oh, well.
No, you didn't. And it's like...
Okay. If you were her boss, and somebody mailed a letter that had nothing to do with her boss, everything that's going on between you and Allison, you're dragging in a complete and total stranger.
Now, hey, Don, wait a minute. Now, that's not fair, because in the first place...
Life isn't fair.
Well, I mean, let's stick to more basic issues than that.
What's your basic reasoning for dragging her boss of the restaurant into this shit? He has nothing to do with it.
She dragged him into it.
How?
What are you talking about?
How did she drag her boss?
Having her fellow employees...
He's not responsible for what they do off the clock. Are you crazy? That's like saying it's his fault that they go out and pick up hookers.
Don, it's like you're not, it's like, well, if you're pissed at me, it's like I can see where you're not. I got her the job. Well, I didn't get her the job there. I told her that a job existed there and that I knew that...
Right, because you didn't want her to be dancing on a pole.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, so I'm not... that's not the sort of thing I like taking credit for. Do you know what I mean?
And do you know what I take credit for? Nothing. Because whether or not I help somebody get a job, they're the one who goes in and gets the job.
I have said those exact words in a sense of I have never referred to, hey, I got you a job there, get me some free food or anything like that. She got the job on her own, present...
Of her own volition, right.
I think you're quoting me, right? And you think when I never mentioned for 2 months that, we were friendly and she had the job, I never mentioned it to her in that way of I like...
Could you answer me a question? What are you trying to force her to kiss you for? What the fuck is that?
What the hell does that... That has got nothing...
No, it does. You shouldn't be trying to make somebody who doesn't want to kiss you when you pull them in for a kiss after they already leaned away the first time. You don't put your arm around them and try and make them do it.
Now, wait a minute, Don. That's... Okay, well then why did we go out the next week?
Yeah, was that a date?
Yeah, that was
okay.
A date.
Again, you're not paying attention. At what point did she not make it clear to you via email and vocally that it's not a date? She's hanging out with you, and to be honest with you, a large majority of the time she spent with you only was simply because she felt sorry for you.
Don, she never saw me as a romantic person to be with, but she is remanufacturing issues now, and that's pretty fucking low. And I did not...
Well, you are an expert on remanufacturing shit, aren't you?
I'm just saying you had must, if it was in your heart to do something about the situation, you had must.
Now it is in my heart. You slandered my ass, dude. I'm not changing anything. If you want to take care of this situation and you believe that she has absolutely no right to take you to court for a restraining order, take your lawyer to court, go, fight off the restraining order, and then learn a really valuable lesson from this. Leave people alone when they say restraining order or protective order.
The thing is, when she says things like, we didn't really have a date, but you should be damned aware of it. She is now trying to rewrite history, and I did not try to force her to kiss me.
Well, we all know that rewriting history is something that happens all the time, Will.
So you feel good about being part of it, or her being part of it?
I'm not worried about whether or not anybody writes history about me and it's wrong, because I don't give a shit. They didn't walk life in my shoes. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what other people think, including you. That's the problem. You care what everybody thinks.
I do. You have no fucking idea how independent a person I am as far as my livelihood.
Well, then what the hell are you calling me for if you're independent? She was telling you to leave her alone long before I got there. She told you via email, she told you vocally to leave her alone long before I got there, Will.
What do you mean before you...
When she's not returning your calls and she's not hanging out with you and you want to make plans with her and all this other bullshit, she told you prior to me being involved with her to leave her alone. You didn't heed the warnings, man. You didn't heed them. If a girl's not returning your phone calls, you claim to be an expert on women. If a girl's not calling you back, you leave her alone.
Are you saying before you two guys were involved that she is now saying that when she would get back to me via email per month...
What, I speak for her now? I'm her representative?
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. Are you saying... If she wants to destroy that, Don, I am not going to stand here and rationalize it.
It got destroyed when you decided to meddle in something that had nothing to do with you, when she found somebody she wanted to have a relationship with, and you decided to start, going all hardball and throwing your dick. You came in throwing your dick around, acting like, you had some kind of say in it, and she got offended by it.
Don't bring up my dick, bring up my ego, okay? But, okay, but...
What's the difference?
Why don't you think about that for a minute, because there's a huge fucking difference. All right. In the first place, the thing is that this is upsetting me because it's like, in other words, if she's saying basically that we were friends, we had a really nice date. She told me that the date we had, it wasn't a romantic date, but we talked about like things we could do, all kind of stuff, was the best date that she'd had since she broke up with me. As far as like an actual structured date.
Then it's amazing that she threw the friendship away if it was such a wonderful date.
I know.
That doesn't make sense to me, dude. If it was so great, then why is it that she chucked it?
I know. Hey,
are you sure you're just not building it up to be something that it wasn't?